Hi, beautiful souls. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we will share a video where Dr. Gabor Maté introduces the concept of using alliteration as a memorable tool to explain complex ideas, specifically focusing on self-limiting beliefs.
It's interesting in your work, throughout your work, you use alliteration as a lot as a way to kind of summarize and make ideas really memorable. It really helps.
It's an old trick.
It's a trick. It's a writing trick, right?
Well, it also works, you know.
Yeah.
I'm denigrating my work if I say it's a trick. No, it's just something. It's just the way things occur to me. That's all it is.
One of the alliteration devices you use is also relates to limiting beliefs and how we can undo self-limiting beliefs with the 5 R's.
Yeah.
Relabel, reattribute, refocus, revalue, and recreate.
Yeah.
Now, from what I understood of those, relabeling is the story and the belief that is limiting to us, redefining
it. Take something like your workaholism.
Yeah.
I need to go to work. I need to do this work.
Yeah.
Relabeling is, I don't need to do this work. I just have a belief that I need to do this work.
Okay.
So that relabeling just takes a degree of separation from the behavior. And actually, it's true. It's not that you need to do all this work. You have this belief. So relabeling just says it for what it is. By the way, I have to acknowledge that these 5 R's, only one of them is mine. I stole the other 4 from a psychiatrist.
That's fine. That's art.
I mentioned that in the book, but I find it a very helpful technique, but it was developed for people with obsessive compulsive tendencies. So the relabel is not that I have to wash my hand 100 times. I just have a belief that I have to wash my hand 100 times. That's the context in which it was developed. I think it works for all kinds of dynamics.
Relabeling involves identifying and redefining limiting beliefs, such as recognizing that the need to work for validation is a belief rather than a necessity. Reattributing then helps individuals understand the origins of these beliefs, allowing them to see that negative self-perceptions, like "I am not worth it," may stem from external influences rather than reflecting reality.
And then so I've relabeled it. I don't have to work to feel a sense of validation, but I have a belief that I do.
That's right.
And then I reattribute it, which is the second R, which means I get clear on where it's come from.
Yeah. So let's say you have the belief that you're not worth it. It's not true that I'm not worth it. I just have a belief that I'm not worth it. Okay? Or it may not be true that I'm not worth it, but I do have a belief that I'm not worth it. Reattribute means this is an old brain circuit sending me an old message. It's got nothing to do with reality. It has to do with some experience that I had a long time ago. That's the reattribute. You just say, well, where is it actually coming from? There's a circuit in your brain that's wired with the message, you're not worth it. And it's going to keep repeating that message. Well, you say, okay, that's where it's coming from.
Until I refocus, which is the third R.
Yeah. So refocus is just to give yourself some space. So if you ever say, I need to go to work, okay, refocus means, well, for 5 minutes, maybe in 5 minutes I'll go to work, but for 5 minutes I won't. I'm going to put on some piece of music or go for a walk or meditate or whatever. So you refocus, you put the intention somewhere else. Just so that, to prove to yourself that you actually have some agency over your brain. If only for 5 minutes. If you have this belief that I'm not worth it, well, you can go back to it in 5 minutes if you want. Just for 5 minutes, though, consider all the ways that you made a contribution. Consider all the ways that people have acknowledged your benign presence in their lives. The times that people have told you that they've loved you or that you told somebody else. Just for 5 minutes, hang out with that. 5 minutes later, if you want to go back to this belief that, or if you can't help going back to this belief that you're not worth it, well, that's okay. But at least create some space. It's all about creating space between yourself and these beliefs or these behaviors.
Refocusing encourages individuals to shift their attention away from limiting beliefs, allowing for healthier coping mechanisms like music, walking, or meditation.
And in that 5 minutes, you're basically accepting new evidence to be true, or you're proving that other evidence is true. I didn't need to go and work.
Well, you're also proving that you don't have to spend all your time subjected to those beliefs. You can take a hiatus from it, at least for a while.
And that they are not you.
They're not you, yeah.
And then Revalue.
Reevaluate really what it should mean, or maybe more accurately, devalue, because you say, what has been the actual value? This belief that I'm not worth it. What has been the actual value of it in my life? Or this tendency of mine to be a workaholic? What has been the actual value? Oh, it made me tired. It made me alienated. Or it keeps me depressed. Or it keeps me hopelessly trying to prove something which I can never prove to myself anyway through external activity. So you actually look at what has been its actual impact on your life. What has been its real value.
Sometimes the value is positive though, right? Like I think about my own workaholism, if that's the term. I think, there's some positives here.
Yeah.
A lot of negatives.
Yeah. Well, is the positive due to workaholism, or is it due to your capacity to work hard on behalf of a goal? They're not the same. Mm-hmm. Your capacity to work hard to achieve a certain goal is simply a gift that you have, and something that maybe takes some discipline and application on your part. That's not workaholism. That's just a strong, positive work ethic. The workaholism is when you're driven to work, you actually don't need to.
It's funny because it reminds me of an analogy I've been talking about in the last couple of episodes of this podcast, of the distinction between being driven and being dragged.
Yeah.
It's like, which side of the lorry am I flying down the motorway? Am I tied to the front and am I running and pulling the lorry? Or am I just like my ankles attached to the back of the lorry as it flies down the motorway because I'm being dragged?
But if I may, I would say that neither of those are particularly desirable. But it's the distinction that I made before between being driven and being called.
Yeah.
Because if you're called, you see, if I call you, say, Stephen, would you come and have dinner with me? You can say yes, you can say no. I just gave you a call, and you could say, literally, I'm talking about a call now, a telephone call. You can say yes, you can say no.
There's a decision there.
But you're the one who's making the decision.
Yeah.
When you're dragged or pushed or pulled, you're not making the decision.
I'm a slave to the decision.
Yeah, that's right.
To the activity.
What a powerful conversation with Dr. Gabor Maté and Stephen Bartlett. We've explored the 5 R's, simple yet life-changing steps to break free from limiting beliefs. Now, ask yourself, what belief is holding you back? And which step will you take today to change your story? If this resonated with you, share it with someone who needs it. Don't forget to subscribe for more insights. Your transformation starts now. You are not your thoughts. You have the power to rewrite your story. See you in the next Vide.